Hello everyone, breaking now in Syracuse. We're standing by as the family of the city's most recent homicide victim prepares to beg the community for tips on the case. The family of 21-year-old Rasheed Baker has called our attention to Clinton Square, as you just saw. That's where they will stand with elected leaders, members of the mayor's administration, and others to ask that those who know what happened on Monday night to come forward and say what they know to police investigators. Rasheed Baker was a standout football player at Jamesville DeWitt High School and was recently nearing completion of his courses at OCC. Authorities say he was shot in the head Monday night at about 11:20 in the Valley section of the city. He was shot late Monday evening in the 600 block of Barnes Avenue, not far from Valley Drive. Since the crime, we learned his family lives in that area, although police have not said what they believe was the motive for the shooting. Back live in Clinton Square, we are waiting for this news conference to start. The family of Syracuse's most recent homicide victim about to go before our cameras live here on CBS 5, and when that happens, you will see it right here. Let's go back to the breaking news in Clinton Square. The family of Syracuse's most recent homicide victim begging for help on this case.
Anything to anybody. He's never, ever had any problems. The community loved him. I loved him. His family loved him. I just want everybody to know how great of a person he was. Rasheed was that kid that was just loved from day one. His family taught him to love. There's no hate, love. So I'm begging and I'm pleading, all who know me, who knows my family, who knows my heart. Rasheed Baker was my heart. To call that number, to reach out, because we need justice for Rasheed. The killing has to stop now. He didn't deserve anything. He's never even had a fight in his life. It has to stop. So if anyone knows anything about Rasheed Baker, anyone knows anything about what happened to my son, my only son, please call, please tip, please. We need justice. We need that person caught inside the jail. Please. I just want everyone to know I love my son, and I'm going to stand proud for my son, because that's what my son would want me to do. He would want me to stand up and be strong for him, and I'm going to stay strong, but I'm not going to stop until I find justice, not just for him, but for all of this. The killing has to stop. It has to stop. We got to come back as a community and love each other. We got to stop this. I wasn't raised like this. This isn't how Syracuse used to be. We loved each other. He was a good kid. He could go anywhere. For the record, he could go anywhere, any side of town, because he was loved. So whoever knows anything, please reach out. Please make that phone call. I don't care if it's just something that you thought, that you heard. Please reach out.
Powerful moments in downtown Syracuse. We'll keep this shot up as we review what just happened.
For Rasheed and Rashida Caldwell, there's a number over there, 442-5223 is the tip line. And if anybody has any information, you can call that line, or you can contact myself, Sharon Owens, Noble, Larry. Any of us will be willing to take a tip. So please, as Ms. Caldwell reached out, if you have any information, please contact the tip line. Nothing is too small to be called in. They will investigate it. So again, thank you, media, for taking the time to come out and sharing this mother's grief. And we're going to continue to step back and let her get through her process. Thank you.
It was a Syracuse mother bearing her pain to beg for information on the shooting death of her son earlier this week. "This isn't how Syracuse used to be," she just said. Her son, Rasheed Baker, was the kind of kid who was loved from day one. His family taught him to love. There was no hate in his life, she says. And she told us that she's begging and pleading to reach out and call the number to Syracuse police. She says the killing has to stop now. She also just told us that her son had never had a fight in his life. Although on Monday night, just before 11:30,
Can you do it?
he wound up shot in the head outside a relative's house in the Valley section of Syracuse. We will continue to watch this. The reporters speaking with Helen Hudson, a common counselor who is working with the family to get this message out. And we'll be right back as we continue to follow the breaking news live here on CBS 5 News at 5 o'clock. Right now, the police investigation is very active, but it has not produced any arrests in last night's shooting death of a 21-year-old man who made a name for himself playing high school football and basketball. Rasheed Baker was a running back on the Jamesville DeWitt football team. The athletic director recalls him as a good kid and athlete. At the time of his death, Baker was enrolled as a student at Onondaga Community College. Back in 2013, CBS 5 Sports featured Baker in a report after the Red Rams won a game. He told us at the time his approach to playing football was all heart.
I'm just happy for the win. You know, I'm all team. You know, I do anything for the team. If it's scoring, if it's catching interception, or if it's blocking, or just cheering the team on. I'm just happy for the win.
Police say Baker was found shot last night at about 11:20 in the Valley section of town. The crime scene was the 600 block of Barnes Avenue near Valley Drive, where Baker has relatives. This was how the 911 center responded to the call for help.
626 Barnes Ave, across of Camp Ave and Englewood Ave. A 20s male, possibly shot in the head.
CBS 5's Justin Page is with the Live Eye at JD High School right now. He talked to one of Baker's former coaches.
Michael, when Rasheed Baker left JD High School, he graduated here in 2014. His future was bright. Family and friends were anxious to see where his journey would take him, and they weren't disappointed. After graduating here, he went to OCC, where he eventually graduated from there and started working with some young people at the Boys and Girls Club in Syracuse. He was making a difference, and before his life was cut short, now his family, friends, and countless coaches and teammates are in shock.
Rasheed Baker was a star on the football field, helping lead JD to an undefeated season in 2012, and was named third-team All-State. His talent also shined on the basketball court. Former JD basketball coach Bob McKinney says he first met Rasheed at one of his basketball camps when he was only in 4th grade.
He came for 3 weeks every summer. It's a skills camp. He came in and worked his butt off every day all those years.
McKinney, like many others, has been struggling in the hours since finding out Rasheed Baker had been shot and killed overnight.
I got texts in the middle of the night that something bad had happened. It's indescribable, the sense of sadness and the overwhelming feeling of helplessness, I guess, really, when you hear news like that.
He says Baker's hard work earned him a call-up to the varsity squad when he was a sophomore. Despite the pressure, McKinney knew he could handle it.
He accepted his role as the point guard running the team, and he was a great kid and a great teammate.
As he got older, Baker had eyes on getting a degree and playing college football.
He worked hard to become a college student, which you obviously have to do to be a college athlete. So he's just, he was just a well-rounded, great kid that always represented Jamesville DeWitt with great integrity.
McKinney knows he's not alone in saying he admired the person Baker was becoming.
It's a sad day for the JD basketball community.
Many different pockets of the community who knew Rasheed Baker. Now, police are still investigating that shooting that took place in the Valley area of Syracuse overnight, while a hurting family is praying for justice. For now, reporting live outside of Jamesville DeWitt High School, I'm Justin Page.
Justin, thank you. There is more on this. The Elite Basketball Club will honor Rasheed Baker, dedicating all 5 games this Friday to him. The club is asking people to attend and join in a moment of silence at 7:15 Friday night at Bishop Grimes. It's now been 9 days since Rasheed Baker was shot to death outside the home he shared with his mother in Syracuse's Valley neighborhood. Tonight, the 21-year-old's family is offering a $5,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in the case. To keep the investigation in the spotlight, Baker's mother agreed to sit down and talk about her son this week. She was joined by dozens of friends and family members and the mayor of Syracuse. This is an impressive show of support on your front lawn. Does this help?
Yes, 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 it does. Because I know I love my son, and I'll never stop loving him to the day I die.
Her son was coming home the night of Monday, June 5th. It was just after 11 o'clock at night when he died on her front step.
I heard a pop noise, and it sort of saddens me as a community. We sort of hear things, and it's just sort of, we get desensitized because we hear it all the time. And then I heard a pop, a bang on my door, and I said, what could this be, you know? And I looked out my window and I saw his car. I said, oh, that's Rasheed. He must got something in his hands where he need. And as a parent, you know, I'm talking to myself, oh, Rasheed, what are you doing? You got in here? And when I opened the door, I saw my son on my front steps, bleeding furiously with blood all over. And I couldn't imagine, not in a million years, could I imagine that my son would have been shot.
The one thing about this town is that we don't, luckily, have a lot of random violence.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think this was?
See, I keep praying on this one because my strength of God is strong. So I keep saying, why? Why Rasheed? Who would do something to Rasheed? And I keep saying, was it somebody I made mad, or did he look like somebody? You know, was it, the drugs is rampant in the world? Is it somebody was high on drugs? And I can't come up with anything. Not one thing that would make me think that it would anybody kill Rasheed, because Rasheed would get his coat off his back. Rasheed Baker? Yeah. All right.
Baker, a former standout on the JD football and basketball squads, just walked the stage at OCC graduation. Someone out there is holding on to critical information about who shot him. I feel like I'd go crazy. Everywhere I went in town, I think, could be you. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's your kid. Maybe it's your mother. Maybe you were driving your aunt's car. Like, I would go crazy. Are you going crazy? What's keeping you from that?
This and all this. God and my family support. And if you knew Rasheed, he would say, Mom, stand strong, because we're going to go through this. We got this. And me and him would say, and his sister, because he loved her so unconditionally, he wanted her to be the best. And he would always say, you know what, Mom? Let me be great. I'm going to be great. Let me be great. And I want him to know he's great already. So yeah, I think every time I look at somebody, I'm thinking, could it be this one? Could it be this one? Could it be this one? Or is it this one? Is it this person here? Is it the person smiling and hugging me? Was it the person that came to his funeral and gave me a hug? I don't know that answer, but somebody does. So I'm begging and pleading that someone steps up and say, whether it was your kid or it was your niece or your nephew or whomever it was, we have to stop now. We can't continue to let things happen. And we need justice for Rasheed.
Rasheeda Caldwell does not remember seeing a car speeding away that night or anybody even running from her property when it happened. If you know something about this, she's asking you to call Syracuse Police. The confidential tip line is 442-5222. CBS 5's Justin Page is with the Live Eye at police headquarters downtown.
It's been just over a week since Rasheed Caldwell, a former star athlete at JD High School, was shot and killed in Syracuse's Valley neighborhood. It's been almost 6 days since his mother made an emotional plea for justice. Today, Police Chief Frank Fowler is echoing that plea, asking anybody with any information to step forward.
Rasheed Caldwell found the strength to speak out about her son's killing last week. She spoke of how selfless Rasheed was and how much he loved his community. She's hoping that community will help police find out who's responsible.
So I'm begging and I'm pleading, all who know me, who knows my family, who knows my heart. Rasheed Daquan Baker was my heart. To call that number, to reach out. Because we need justice for Rasheed. The killing has to stop now.
After announcing an arrest in a separate and unrelated homicide that happened over the weekend, Chief Fowler made a similar plea.
A lot of times in cases like this, people may know something that they think is small and insignificant, and I'm saying to you now that nothing is too small and nothing is identified as insignificant.
The chief says in many cases, timely arrests are partly due to witness cooperation and help from the public. He, like Caldwell and many others, hope it will make a difference in bringing those responsible for Rasheed Baker's murder to justice.
And whatever it is that you may have, no matter how small it is, we are interested in it because, as I said before, our detectives that we have are very talented and we can do a lot with the little.
And if you have any information, you can contact the Syracuse Police tip line. That number's on our website, cnycentral.com, or you can contact the Syracuse Police app, and you can remain anonymous. For now, reporting live outside the Public Safety Building in Syracuse, I'm Justin Page.
A family desperate for answers on the shooting death of Rasheed Baker, and they're calling on the entire community to join them as they walk through downtown in a march for justice. They're calling it the Let Me Be Great Walk, a phrase Baker's mother says he would use very often. Let's get the facts first on CBS 5 News at 5 o'clock. It's been 3 weeks since Baker was killed on Barnes Avenue in the Valley neighborhood. His homicide remains an open case. Police have no suspect information and have made no arrests. His family insists they can't imagine any reason Baker would have been targeted. They say he wasn't involved in anything that could have opened him up to violence. CBS 5's Mary Keeler is with the Live Eye on South Salina Street right now.
Michael, police have blocked off this street here and people have started to gather here, and they're going to start walking down this street. We're right by the Centro bus hub downtown, and as you can see, family and friends are all gathered here. They're going to walk, and they're calling this Justice for Rasheed. That's his nickname that everyone he knew dearly called him, and they're wearing t-shirts, if you can see too, that say Justice for Rasheed on it. They're also wearing pins with a little jersey and his number for his football jersey, number 44. The walk route is going to lead eventually, once things get going here, down this street, South Salina, all the way into Clinton Square. And as you said before, Michael, this family really is just desperate for answers ever since this tragedy happened earlier this month.
And we're out here in solidarity with the community to say justice must be served for Rasheed and for all those who have lost their loved ones. We must put the guns down, we must stop the violence, and we must come back as a community as a whole.
People are also carrying banners and photos of Rasheed Baker on them with that signature kind of quote saying, "Let me be great." They've also told me that instead of $5,000, now that reward for anyone who might know any information is up to $10,000 from the family. So they're just asking for anyone who might know something to step up. Live in Syracuse, I'm Mary Keeler.
Mary, I talked to Rasheed Baker's mother on her front lawn days after it happened. That's all she told me she wants. She wants somebody who knows something to come forward. Maybe that'll happen. Mary, thank you. Right now, we're live in downtown Syracuse where the family of Rasheed Baker is walking for justice along South Salina Street. They've also just revealed it's now a $10,000 reward, up from $5,000, being offered by the family for information that leads to a tip that could lead to an arrest and conviction. A 21-year-old was shot outside his mother's home on Barnes Avenue early this month in the Valley section of Syracuse. Police since then have revealed no suspect information. That walk started just a little distance back at the Centro bus hub. They will finish in Clinton Square in just a couple of minutes. A Syracuse family heartbroken, and they continue to push for answers after Rasheed Baker was shot to death outside his mother's home in the Valley neighborhood. Now the community has come together to walk through downtown Syracuse, a public display, the family calling it the Let Me Be Great Walk for Justice, a saying that Rasheed Baker would often say to his mom. The family's hoping that it will bring the community together and also bring out the tip that leads to an arrest. We're live in Clinton Square right now where Rashida Caldwell, who is Rasheed Baker's heartbroken mother, is speaking to the crowd that walked with her through downtown. Let's listen live.
Y'all know what's going on in your house. You knew if a paper was moved. So you can't tell me you don't know what's going on in your house. Whoever did this gets a second chance. Rasheed doesn't. So if anybody, when I say anybody knows something, please, please, please call in.
Now to a CBS 5 exclusive. It was, to say the least, emotional for a Syracuse woman accepting her son's honorary diploma from Onondaga Community College today, more than 3 months after he was shot to death. At the time of his murder, 21-year-old Rasheed Baker was 7 credits shy of his degree. Let's get the facts first on CBS 5 News at 5:30. It was June 5th. Rasheed Baker was killed outside his mother's home on Barnes Avenue in the Valley neighborhood of Syracuse. The homicide is open to this day. Police have never revealed any suspect information and made no arrests. There's a $10,000 reward by the family for information that leads to an arrest and conviction. And CBS 5's Brandon Roth tells us more.
Former Jamesville DeWitt High School football star and OCC student Rasheed Baker was killed before he could get his degree.
And the diploma.
But today, Baker's family accepted that degree in his honor.
All he wanted to do is just make me proud and make his family proud. And as a mother, I couldn't ask for nothing better.
The 21-year-old Baker was just a few weeks away from earning his associate's degree at OCC when he was gunned down near his home on Barnes Avenue back in June. Rashida Caldwell says her son had just started a job with social services and loved helping others.
He wanted to do nothing but to help people and love. So when I think of Rasheed, I think of love, because that's just what type of person he was.
OCC President Casey Craybill says Baker was a good student who was well loved by all who knew him.
We know that he had their support when he was here. He was a great student. He was a great kid. It's a huge loss.
So far, Syracuse police still have not made any arrests in the case. Baker's family is offering a $10,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of whoever is responsible for his murder. Rashida Caldwell says her son is always with her.
He's with me every day, every single day. Every single day he's with me.
Rasheed Baker may be gone, but at OCC, he is far from forgotten. At OCC, Brandon Roth reporting.